none of this conversation gives me any pleasure whatsoever. But I do feel that there's a different kind of a litmus test that evolves in a conversation like the one we're holding, in which fidelity to the state of Israel in itself becomes a kind of litmus test for one's Jewishness, and that is very uncomfortable.
I think throughout the hearing you've heard the exact opposite, and I think for all the students and the professors who've testified, and all the council members, I don't think any of them said but being a Zionist is a litmus test for being Jewish. I think what you heard, and what I hope you heard when I because I know you're a man who listens, what you heard was that their voices are being stifled. Not that everyone has to agree with them. That is what was said, and I just have to push back on the notion that no one can have disagreements.
Nobody has spoken about the rise in white Christian nationalism and that contribution to anti-Semitism, which is a domestic context we need to be thinking about if we're really serious about tackling anti-Semitism in New York City or the entire context of the global war on terror. So, I take your point, council member, about the contribution of the resolution to that, and I would just place it in the context of a number of other extremely important and pervasive factors in the social fabric.
Thank you very much. I'm just going to say as a closing thought on that last sentence that I'm a New Yorker my entire life. I grew up in the city. I was born here. And frankly, with due respect, I don't believe that white nationalism is a big problem in New York City CUNY campuses. And if you think it is, you ought to take another look at those campuses. That's not what's happening there. That's not what's happening there.
I mean, to be clear, you support BDS. I mean, that's not really a...
Why would you say that, Chair Dinowitz?
Because you said it.
Where have we said that? I was a member of the American Studies Association in 2013, Tony, when you were talking about that vote about BDS and voted in favor there.
You testified earlier that you don't support BDS, is that correct?
Clear, you support BDS. I mean, that's not really a...
Why would you say that, Chair Dinowitz? I don't think I testified about my own personal beliefs.
But do you support BDS?
That's not relevant to this hearing.
I think it's very relevant to this hearing.
Well, then I'm not willing to disclose that information in this hearing.
Well, there's a video of you online publicly supporting BDS.
I'm not aware of that video, and I'm not aware of ever having been publicly in support of BDS. I was a member of the American Studies Association in 2013, Tony, when you were talking about that vote about BDS and voted in favor there.
Is it your testimony then that you never publicly testified to supporting BDS?
No, I'm very confused about what you're asking.